Okay. And now let's fast forward to today. When the great age of deceit fell upon us, and when truth gave way to relativism, and when good became bad and bad became good. That's where we are, okay? This is obviously its own topic, and there's no time for that, but I think we all intuitively sense what I'm talking about. And, just to keep it on the current topic, history now is taught in a way in the West that exists to demonize the Christian West any which way it can, and to exonerate and make Muslims look like the victims. And there's a reason for that. History is not just some dry, useless thing. History is a very powerful weapon the way you use it, or misuse it in this case. And I've coined this fake history. We've all heard of fake news, of course, and fake news does its damage, but it's ephemeral. It comes and it goes. Fake history is a lot more subtle and a lot more dangerous, because what fake history is you create a false narrative. So let's say I say, actually, Christians have been attacking Muslims for centuries and Muslims are innocent. Let's say that's the fake history. I say that. Well, guess what? You're going to see everything today in current events through that lens, and it's going to confirm what you're being told. You're going to be, when they tell you, well, whites are racist, or whites are Islamophobic, or whites are xenophobic, it's going to make sense if you believe the fake history. And the history that is coming out of the academic departments is really fake. Okay, it's not grounded in the sources that I've looked at. A lot of these sources I actually collated when I worked at the Library of Congress, so I was really lucky to access a lot of primary materials that completely give the lie to what's being taught today, mainstream academic discourse. And I'll give you just one perfect example. I used to go to Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., and there was a very famous professor. His name was John Esposito, and very famous. He was the go-to guy, intelligence agencies, because this was around 9/11, 2001, sorry. And he was everywhere. He's written multiple books, all of them praised, and he was the editor of the Oxford History of Islam. That's very prestigious. He has, in one of his books, this line, which I've said so many times because it's so ludicrous, I've essentially memorized it. But he says, 5 centuries of peaceful coexistence between Christians and Muslims elapsed before an imperial papal power play led to a series of so-called holy wars that have left an enduring legacy of mistrust and resentment. So what he's saying is from the dawn of Islam until the First Crusade, it was all peaceful coexistence, until those evil papal power play, the Crusaders, decided to just, for the heck of it, let's go and ruin everything. Let's ruin all this peace. Nothing about how 3/4 of the Christian world was violently conquered. Nothing about, in 1 year, 30,000 churches being destroyed. Nothing about the millions of Christians being enslaved before the First Crusade. So that's what I mean by very dangerous fake history. But like I said, there's a reason it's being said. If you believe this fake history, that will be the paradigm which you will always see current events in. And it will help support the idea that, yeah, the Muslims are victims.